It's more often than it seems, but it's often hidden behind closed doors. This week, Canadians are talking about infertility and the stresses that come with it. On National Infertility Awareness Week, those couples want others to know they're not alone. Cameron is 21 months old, but her journey into this world was 3 years in the making. Catherine Tom and her husband had 5 miscarriages in that time.
I went through a lot of hopelessness because I just really didn't know whether or not I would be able to have my lifelong dream of starting a family.
Doctors didn't have an answer for their miscarriages. They said the couple weren't good candidates for fertility treatments.
Really, what I learned throughout the whole process is you really need to be able to be with your suffering, accept it, and find yourself within that. And I think that's the biggest thing that my husband really blessed me with, was that he allowed me to really be with my grief.
Tom says she would sit by herself in her garage for hours. She wants to dispel the myth that you can't be attached to a fetus. She lost her first baby at 11 weeks when she was on the doctor's table getting an ultrasound.
My husband walked into the ultrasound room after we had gone through the procedure, and I just looked at him and I just started crying, saying, "I'm so sorry."
She says it's a unique form of grief filled with loss, worry, and fear.
You're constantly faced with this, will we or will we not have a family? And while you're going through that, you're surrounded by people who are having babies, your friends are going on to start families and so forth.
She says the couple found themselves distanced from friends even though they didn't want to be. About 1 in 6 Canadian couples struggle with infertility.
I don't think a lot of people really realize that, and I think that's why people tend to maybe distance or isolate themselves from family or friends. It's because they think that maybe they're alone in this.
The number struggling has doubled since the 80s.
I don't know if it's exactly known why, but some of the speculation is because people are having families later in life. So again, people are putting family building on hold, and they're focusing on education, careers, finding the right partner, finding the right home where you live, and by the time they get around to building family, which becomes sort of the next step for them, then they find that there might be an issue, or when you're a little bit older, then the fertility rates do drop a little bit.
Another theory is environmental factors like chemicals and radiation. Dial says if you're really struggling, communication with friends, family, or even people outside your immediate circle can really help. In Winnipeg, Stephanie Lasuk, City News.